Hello, everyone. My name is Julia Diggs. I'm the program manager here at West Philadelphia Senior Community Center, and we are putting together a cookbook. And we are looking for recipes. If you have a recipe, give us a call, 215-386-0379. Today, we are going to learn about chicken salad. Mrs. Charlotte Goings is famous for her chicken salad, and you'll find it in the cookbook. But she's going to give us a first-hand view of how she makes it, and you can guarantee it tastes good. I've had it. Here's Charlotte.
Okay, I'm going to get you started on how to make chicken salad. Most people get their chicken salad from leftover chicken, but because I have catered many a chicken salad parties, I use fresh chicken. And today we're going to use four half breasts. And I'm going to tell you how to do it and make it into enough for a large family or to do yourself. I always buy the chicken when it's on sale. And the reason I buy it when it's on sale is because my chicken salad you cannot just make in one day. I season my chicken salad, and right now I'm going to show you the steps that I take to season it. First of all, I have washed my chicken. So we're going to take the chicken and I'm going to plate it. This chicken has been washed already, and even though they tell you do not wash chicken, wash your chicken. Okay, when I do the chicken salad, and I use a lot of paper towels. So if you see me using paper towels, it's because I do use a lot of paper towels. In my chicken salad, the reason I cannot make it in one day is because my chicken salad has to marinate. Usually I buy my chicken salad, and the day I buy it, I season it and I freeze it for when I need to use it. But if you need to use it within the next 2 days, because it should set at least 24 hours, this is what you need to do. This is a chicken seasoning from McCormick, and it's just like a grilled chicken ingredients. And it comes just like this. And what I do is how I start is I take my dish, I put a little in the bottom. Then I use garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder. With this chicken, you do not use salt. And I season this. And the reason I do that is because when you put your first piece of chicken in, you want it coated on the bottom too. So put it in, and then sprinkle some more. Do the same thing until you finish your chicken on each piece of chicken. Does not make any difference which one you use first, but do it on each piece of chicken. Just make sure it's coated. You don't have to overdo it. Just make sure that it's coated. I use these, and I was touching the chicken, and I was touching these. When you get finished with them, wash them down before you put them back in the cupboard. This is lemon juice. You can actually use a real lemon, or you can use the lemon juice from Real Lemon that comes in a container. And what you do with this is just sprinkle a little bit over your chicken, and you're finished. Now you can do one or two things. Cover it, put it in the refrigerator for a day, 2 days, and then cook it. You can either boil it or bake it. I have done both, and it's the preference is yours. and you cook it until it's done. I can't say, well, cook it a half hour and it'll be done. I don't know how your oven or your stove cooks. So cook it long enough that you see it floating on the top, then test it with a fork. Because this chicken has already been frozen, I'm going to just stick this in the refrigerator and it'll just season for the next day. Okay. After all this is done and the chicken is cooked, and while you're waiting for it to cook, you can cut your onions up. I've already cut these onions up, and these are not just regular yellow onions. This is sweet onions, and sweet onions are a little different, and they do not have the bitter taste sometimes that the yellow onions have. So if you have someone in your family who does not like onions, get the sweet onions. It's better for you. Well, this is good for you, but the taste is better, and people who do not like onions won't taste it as well much. Then celery. I cut my celery up, and I just chopped it up, and I know that this is more than enough that I use, but sometimes you want to make another dish, or just save it, or either freeze it and use it for soup. Okay, at this time, the chicken is done. We're going to take the chicken and we're going to cut it up. Also, I have Hellmann's mayonnaise. That's going to be the 3 ingredients that I use to put into my chicken salad. So at this time, I'm just going to clean the chicken up, take any fat that's on the chicken off. Scrape anything that you think you don't want to eat off the chicken. Because when I do it, I just take it right out of that pan, that container there, and put it in some water and boil it, or put it in the oven. Once you've done that, you want to take your chicken and start cutting it up. And usually, even though I have it covered, I always like to not have it open to the air, because you never know how long it's going to take you to cut it up. And you also do not want to dry your chicken out. So at this time, I'm going to just take the time to cut this chicken up. Sometimes your chicken may fall apart, but I guess I'm just used to just taking it, and because it's cold, that has something to do with it too. But as you notice, I cut it in half because I want to cut it in smaller pieces. You want to cut it in little bite-sized pieces. But if it shreds a little, don't worry about it. Okay, and once all your chicken is cut up, your next step and see, this is how it will look similar to this. You need to put about a cup of onions in it and a cup of celery. And if you're making smaller pieces, like I usually say, for every quarter you put in there, put a quarter cup of onions and a quarter cup of celery. Now, if you choose to have a little bit more, don't worry about it. Some people like a little bit more than a cup, or a little bit less, and that's your preference. And then you take it and mix it up. If when you're mixing, you look like you need a little more onion or a little more celery, just add it. Because when I give you an estimate about the amount, remember, each chicken is different. It's just like us. They come in different sizes. So some breasts will be smaller than others, some will be larger. So you need to work accordingly. at this point, you will start adding your mayonnaise. Now, I didn't put an exact amount of mayonnaise, but with your mayonnaise, unless you've been cooking for years, start with a smaller amount, mix it up. If it's not enough, add more. You can always add more. You can never take away. Then you start mixing it. Once it's completely mixed up and you have it mixed, you should set it in the refrigerator and let it chill for a couple of hours. Because at that point it will taste that much better. As I said, you can always add more if you don't have enough, but if you have too much, you will not be able to take it back and put it in the mayonnaise jar.
Yum.
And once it's all mixed up, this much chicken salad will produce containers like this. Once these containers are done, as I said, normally when I cook chicken salad, I usually do it for a group of people, not just for my husband and I. So, if you're doing it, when I usually do it for a group, I usually fix it so that they can enjoy it, and if need be, especially here at the center, they can take it home. So, I would take my chicken salad, put it in a container like this. Make sure they get plenty. Okay, and once this is done, what I usually do is I don't put grapes in my chicken salad. As you notice, I only put celery, mayonnaise, and onions in my chicken salad. So what I usually do is I take a bunch of grapes that's been washed off, and I stick them in the side here. And with that, I stick a pack of crackers to the side. So now they have a full meal. Then all they need is a fork. All they need is a fork and a napkin. So this is basically how I do my chicken salad. And this is how, since I can't find a napkin, we're just going to use one of these towels. But this is the presentation of it for a crowd. But now if you want to have it at home, let's just fix a little plate. And instead of giving you just the crackers, just be a little fancy about it. Okay. And the summer is just beginning, so anytime that you want something that's light and not a lot of trouble, just have some chicken salad. It's easy to make, it's quick, and it will be around for a couple of days. So enjoy.
Thank you, Charlotte. And so, this is one of the recipes that you will find in West Philadelphia Senior Community's cookbook, Charlotte's Favorite Chicken Salad. And as I said, I've had the container, and it is absolutely delicious. And so please, check us out, send us a recipe, or call us and order a cookbook. Our number is 215-386-0379, and the extension is 0. And I just want to thank you, Charlotte, for taking the time out today to come and make your famous chicken salad. We all love it, and you will too.